6 people.
Namah Shivaya. Shri Hari. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketa Secha. Etat Shrutva Samparigrihyam Artyah Etat Shrutva Samparigrihyam Artyah Pravrihya Dharmyam Anumetamapya Samodate modaniyam hi labdhva Samodate modaniyam hi labdhva 213 1 2 13. Where is your book? Etat Shrutva Samparigrihyamartyah Pravrihya Dharmyam Anumetamapya Samodate modaniyam hi labdhva Vivritam sadmanachiketa sammanye Vivritam sadmanachiketa sammanye Etat Shrutva Samparigrihyamartyah Etat Shrutva Samparigrihyamartyah Pravrihya Dharmyam Anumetamapya Samodate modaniyam hi labdhva Vivritam sadmanachiketa sammanye So this is the last mantra before actually the question in the form of the third boon is posed again in verse 14, and then the teaching officially begins. Not that the teaching has not been going on till now. The teaching has been going on. Otherwise, how will we know so many things we have learnt? What have we learnt so far that, we have learnt so many things. We have learnt how to go through the first portion of the Veda and what is its use. We have learnt how to come out of the first portion of the Veda and focus the attention on the one who is the doer, because that's where the problem is, not on trying to acquire something through action. So we have also been taught by Lord Yama, talking all this time what are the qualifications needed for this knowledge that Nachiketa has. Because the praise of Nachiketa is not just praising Nachiketa for the sake of it, it's to show all the other students of the Upanishad, it's to show how we can be like him and what is that is so special about him that makes him stand out, and what are the things that are required for this teaching, for internalizing this teaching, shamadama, etc. And now, having talked about all that, and having talked about how in the absence of this knowledge the person just goes from death to death and keeps on going through the revolving door of samsara, and never taking off, always sitting at the airport, never taking off, and then what? So therefore this is all part of the teaching. It's not that the teaching hasn't begun. The teaching began right from Ushan Havai Vajasravas. That's when the teaching began. Oh, where is that? Which Upanishad? Bhagavad Gita. No. Aparokshanubhuti. No. Which one? The first mantra of this very Upanishad. Ushan Havai. Ushan means desiring. Icchan. Icchan what? Heaven. That itself is the teaching. Is that the Ichha goes everywhere except where it should go. Yeah, all over the place. The Ichha takes a nice view, world tour, and comes back to samsara. This is what happens when the desire leads the jiva. That's why the jiva is always a stray jiva, always looking for a home. Yeah, this is what it is. And so all this, the teaching has already begun. It's not correct to say that the teaching is going to begin later, and so I can skip all the Upanishad up till now and then start with etadeva, etadhi alambanam, etadhi eva alambanam param, etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. This, if I start the teaching there, if I start attending the classes there, nothing will go in. Why? Because this was a process. It's an important process of opening the mind, because when you go to the temple, when you go to any temple or any place of worship, where they give out something, like a prasad when they give, and if you stand like this, what will happen? Yeah, prasad will not come. That's what it is. Oh, but in some cultures they put it in the mouth. Yeah, okay, you stand. Yeah, put a band-aid on the mouth and go. Zip on the mouth, and then hold the hands behind you completely, and don't even present yourself in line for prasada, and then complain that prasada doesn't come. So this is the leading up to prying the paws in an open position. Shraddha, Bhakti, Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, plus the six pack. What is the six pack? Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Yeah, this is the six pack. So all these have to be, these muscles have to be built. This is a Vedanthon. Yeah, marathon, Vedanta marathon. Because after that, all the subtle areas of the subtle ways in which the ignorance is repeatedly removed and all the notions are dislodged, or through various pedagogies are going to come. It's like running a Vedanthon, meaning it keeps going. So the first quite a bit of it, the first third of the Upanishad is devoted to, it's not chit chat. Yama is not doing empty chit chat. Some garrulous fellow, lonely fellow sitting somewhere where no one will come and visit him and he is doing chit chat. No, he is building up the mind of the student, of the prospective student. Nachiketa doesn't need that. Nachiketa is standing there saying, come on, all right, when is the teaching going to start? He is building up the mind for the latecomers. Yeah. Yeah, the latecomers, meaning those jivas who have gone round and round and round for many, many lifetimes, and they have come, as it were, you know, late in life. That's why, late in lives. So that's why, we have a saying, Vriddha Shishyaha Guruhu Yuva. The Guru is always 16 years old. Dakshinamurti, Adi Guru, is 16 years old. And the students should be, 10, 12, 14. No! The students are 102. Oh, that's many, not 102 years, at least 102 lifetimes as human beings they've had. Other animal forms we are not even going to count. Meaning, this many lifetimes just revolving through samsara, not getting it, okay, next time, not getting it next time, not getting it next time. Oh, this time I desired ice cream, okay, next life, work in Baskin Robbins, and then I'll get sick of ice cream after the third day. And then next life desires, oh, why I'm not in America, why I'm in India, and next life born in America, And then what? Oh, why I'm not in India, next life born in India, like all over the place, just searching, from frying pan of samsara to the fire of samsara. That's the only difference, yeah, searching, seeking, late in lives. You cannot say late in life, late in many lives. Very late, meaning it could have happened a long time ago. That's why the Shishyas are all doddering and old. And the Guru, who represents knowledge, is ever youthful. That is the picture we have. That's why it says, this is, picturize this, visualize this. Chitram, picture. Chitram vatataror mule vriddha shishya gurur yuva. Visualize this under the banyan tree. Yeah, visualize this under the banyan tree. Elderly students and young guru. And then it gets stranger, the picture gets stranger. The Guru, is not saying anything. Gurostu maunam vyakhyanam. Guru is the one who just will not talk. Shishyasta chinna samshayaha. The Shishyas are free of all doubts. This is what it is. So the Shishyas are free of doubts even though Guru is not talking. Then if that, do you regard Dakshinamurti as your Guru? This is the student interviewing me just now after explaining this verse. Yes, I do. Then why do you talk so much? Next question. Why don't you also just sit for 1 hour? Leave us also in peace. I'm about to do that. I'm taking off for 2 months. But anyway, so why don't you leave us in peace? And why don't you follow your Adi Guru? If Dakshinamurti is truly Dakshinamurti your Guru? Yes, Dakshinamurti is our Guru. If Dakshinamurti is your Guru, why you are talking day in and day out, sometimes many times in one class? You are talking in many classes in one day. You are talking non-stop, and then you are quoting this verse. Yeah. Well, that's the advantage of coming late in life. Those people who've just, revolved around samsara, they got the shamadhama to such an extent that the beard, the length and the greyness of the beard shows a certain ripeness for this knowledge. And when one is ripe and ready, then one can learn through a movement of the eyelid. Nimisha. Yeah. And how long does it take to move the eyelid? That is what is called nimisha, a moment. And that nimisha is enough. Why? Because the Atma being yourself, there is nothing needed except preparation. So it's not that the Guru is not teaching. There are many methods to teach. And the Guru is using a method of teaching which is a method of sign language. He is talking. It's not that he is not talking. Mauna Vyakhya, it should be almost an oxymoron. Vyakhya means speech. Mauna means silence. Okay, now decide. Is the Guru in speech or is the Guru in silence? Yeah, the Guru is, talking through non-speech. That is what the idea is. Yeah. Oh, ASL? No. It's not American Sign Language. It is VSL, Vedanta Sign Language. This is the sign language for you, the one that points to everything and everybody. This fellow, which is associated with the body, mind, sense complex. Oh, out of these fingers, which is body, which is mind? You decide. Free. And then you, who think you are with all of them, and you look at this fellow as a funny fellow, but really, and useless somewhat, but actually, this is the most useful thing. It gives being to all four, because without this fellow, you cannot even pick up a book. You're just groping around, And so, therefore, this one silently gives a basis for all the activity of these four. The body, mind, sense complex along with ahankara is actually, functioning because of Atma. This is the Atma, this is Bhagavan. Oh, Bhagavan is a funny looking Bhagavan. Bhagavan looks like my thumb. Yes. How do you know Bhagavan looks like my thumb? Because in this very Upanishad on the Wednesday class, perhaps if we are fortunate, we will see Angushtamatra Purushaha Madhye Atmani Tishtati. Visualize the thumb size Bhagavan sitting right in the center of the heart. So the thumb is actually got a very important place in the Vedanta Shastra. And the thumb is the basis here. It's just for fun, I said that. Don't take it seriously. And then afterwards I'll only have to answer the questions, So I'm clearing my table. So now this thumb, which you think is so far away and remote, and I am, entwined with these four. We are a group, and this one is the odd Bhagavan out. Really, what is the truth? You are this. You are not the body, the mind and the senses. You are this. And your life has come a full circle. Yeah. And not knowing this, is going to put you in a deep hole out of which you can never extricate yourself. Not knowing this is costly. If you don't know this and know everything, what do you know is a big zero. It's a deep hole you have dug for yourself. So therefore, this is what to understand. This is what is called Chit Mudra. Chin Mudra. Chin Mudra, not Chin Mudra, okay? If it's to do with the chin, why is it using the hands? Should we do it here? No, the chin is actually Chit plus Mudra becomes Chin Mudra, okay? Yeah, the special prarabdha of teaching in Western countries, you have to think of all these things. Otherwise the question will come, what is this chin? Why the Vedanta likes the chin? Yeah. This is Chit Mudra, Chin Mudra. What is Chit? Sat Chit, that Chit. Yeah, that Chit. That Chit. Sat Chit, that Sat Chit wala Chit, that Chit. Satchidananda. But why Chit is chosen? Why not San Mudra? And why not Ananda Mudra? Why Chit only is chosen? Why are you prioritizing Chit? There is a secret. You want to know the secret? Because it is at that word Chit alone where the Mahavakya operates. When you say Satyam Jnanam Anantam, existent, that is which is Sat, correct?
Yes.
And then Anantam, which is limitless, correct? So this is describing that entity which is limitless, which is in the form of consciousness, which is whole, which is free. But then when I use the middle word, that's why it's in the middle. When I use chit, which is jnanam, jnanam at the level of the individual is called chit. At the level, collective level, when we talk about Brahman, of all beings, etc., we say jnanam. And at the level of the individual, the truth of the body-mind sense complex, with reference to Atma, it is Sat Chit Ananda. That Chit becomes the activator of this as a Mahavakya. Why? Because where is that Chit? Who is that Chit? I. How do you know it's me? Are you here? That's why it is Chit. Aham Asmi Sada Bhami. Aham Asmi. How do I know? Because Sada Bhami. I'm always broadcasting. It's like I'm a radio station that's broadcasting my presence. I'm like a Wi-Fi. Aham Asmi, Aham Asmi, Aham Asmi. And everyone is broadcasting the same frequency. I am, 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 I am. How do you know you are broadcasting? Because I know I am. Everything becomes evident to me. What about you? Who are you evident to? I am also evident to me. So this being evident to myself is a very special thing. Everything doesn't have it. Oh, only a few things have it? No, nothing other than you has it. Nothing else is self-evident other than you. And that self-evidence is evidence enough for us to know that this is the only conscious presence in the whole universe. And that consciousness, unto whom we attribute the status of the maker of the universe, the creator of the universe, is nothing other than this consciousness to whom everything becomes evident. The only difference is that this consciousness is, what is that? Attached to, identified with, misidentified with body, mind, sense, complex, samsara, etc. And that consciousness is asanga. This consciousness also through knowledge becomes asanga or recognizes its asangatvam. It's already asanga, but quote unquote, goes through a process of letting go because of the mistakes, which makes it which makes it sangha, which makes it have sangha. This also is asanga, that also is asanga. And that's why it is called Chin Mudra, because that is where the Mahavakya means the most holy, sacred sentence of the Upanishad that gives the knowledge that you are one and the same as the creator of the universe, Ishvara. That is what is Mahavakya. That's why it's called Mahan. Mahan cha asau, Vakyascha Mahavakya. That is, Mahan means it is the most sacred and it's the most highly regarded aspect of the teaching, where that final culmination of the teaching in the form of you or Bhagavan is given. Jiveshwarayoho Aikyam is communicated through which Vakya sentence is called Mahavakya. So that's how the Mahavakya operates. So even though the teaching, the kernel of the teaching is in this Chin Mudra or Mahavakya, not that Lord Yama has been wasting our time or his own time. In the praise of Nachiketa, we find more refined points of how to prepare for this teaching. What is preparedness? What is the ways in which I can open myself to receive the prasada of this knowledge. Because the knowledge is a prasada. What is prasada? That which comes, as a blessing is prasada. How to gain the prasada of this knowledge? This is what I have to see, I have to understand. And for that, this whole opening has been made. Even Nididhyasanam was talked about in the last, mantra, talking about how to let go of the habit-based orientations by quote unquote, the practice of seeing the meaning of the Upanishad words and sentences repeatedly in one's life. This is what was talked about. And now, after having talked about Nididhyasana, which is a very important component of assimilating this knowledge, especially for who? Madhyama and Manda Adhikaris. What is a Madhyama Adhikari? Yeah, iffy fellow in the middle. What is a Manda Adhikari? Not worth talking about. Yeah. Manda means Adhama Adhikari. Adhama Adhikari means what? Even if you pay them to sit in the class, they will not. That is the kind of a thing, Yeah, that is the whole thing, because the interest is not there, the desire is not there. Like I said yesterday or whenever it was, if you tie them up to the chair and make them sit, nothing goes in. Manda Adhikari and Madhyama Adhikari has a genuine desire for knowledge, but also has an equal, in equal quantity or, volume of ragadveshas, which are competing with that desire for the knowledge. The desire for the knowledge is overwhelmed, and the desire, by ragadveshas. In other words, the ragadveshas underwhelm the desire for the knowledge. Yeah, so the desire for knowledge is hijacked by the ragadveshas. And so therefore, this Nididhyasana was prescribed, and I talked about it in detail about its relevance for the Manda and the Madhyama Adhikaris. And then there are two other ways, the Shravanam is also emphasized here in this mantra, and Mananam as well. Shravanam and Mananam is emphasized. We have seen the meaning, and so we are going to go straight to the Bhashya. एतत् आत्मतत्त्वं यद् अहं वक्ष्यामि तत् श्रुत्वा आचार्यप्रसादात् सम्यक् आत्मभावेन. Yeah. So etat means what? What is etat? This. What is this here? Atma Tattvam. And what is Atma Tattvam? The truth of the I. Because that is what under consideration. Now we are not discussing the price of potatoes and tomatoes. We are discussing Atma Tattva. Correct? So this means Atma Tattva. We are not discussing inflation, we are not discussing what is in the news, we are discussing Atma. This is the Prakritam, this is the context, Atma Tattva. And very interesting, because here Adi Shankara decodes this etat in a very interesting way. Etat, usually Brahman is used, what is the pronoun used for Brahman? Tat. That, never this. But this here refers to what? I am not remote. I may be remote controlled by many desires, but I am not remote. Yeah, I am not remote at all. I am right here, right now. Nitya Upalabdhi Swarupatvat, because I am ever available. Are you available now? Yes. Are you available now? Yes. To do what? No, don't worry about that. Are you here? Available means here. Yes. Are you available now? Silence. Why? Because I was sleeping. What about now? Yeah, now I'm awake. Yes. Are you available now? Yes. Now? Yes. This is etat now. The etat is interesting because the etat it feels like that which is described by the word etat is proximal, it's near to me in terms of proximity. It is available. So if something is available, then if it is me, and if I am available to myself, then what? Then why do I need Yama, Lord Yama or anyone? I am available. And that which is ever available, which is described with the word this, which is right here, right now. I don't need somebody to come and, explain it to me because it's me. Correct? Very interesting, very beautiful. So, by the Shruti uses the word etat, the Lord Yama, in the form of the Shruti, uses the word etat to remove, as it were, the remoteness associated with Atma. To show the students, to show everyone who is studying this Upanishad, that indeed it is etat. It is available right here, right now. It is not tat. Are you here? No, I am there. No one says that. I am here. Nobody says, are you there? Even the questioner will not say, are you there? Are you here? Meaning, are you available right here, right now? And if you know it, clap your hands. This is what the whole thing is. Are you here? Yes. So there is that immediacy, and that immediacy in itself is encouraging to the student, because there is a relief, an overwhelming sense of relief, because the immediacy makes me feel that what I wish to know is not far away. What I wish to know is right here, right now. It is me. How complicated can that get? It is me. This is exciting. This is delightful. And in decoding or explaining the word etat, he quietly says etat is Atma, but it is tat, its tatness, its thatness is explained. Very beautiful. Meaning the Atma is this, but then it has a thatness about it which is remote, available only through Shabda Pramana, through Acharya Prasada, through the learning, through exposing myself to the teaching repeatedly for the length of time. So the Atma is ever available here. Available for what? Making mistakes. That's what it's available for. So the thisness is somehow shrouded in a mysterious remoteness, thatness, which I'm always trying to access the thatness in the thisness. But then this is always fraught with these three. What are these three? Body, mind, sense, complex, samsara, acquisitions and this and requisitions and this and that, and so many things, and desires and fears and tears. The overlay of this samsara on this makes this into that. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Makes this which is ever available into something whose nature becomes as though that which is far removed from my understanding, because this gets mistakenly entangled in all kinds of other rubbish, riffraff. It gets mistakenly entangled. And so the teaching repatriates that, makes thatness, this right here, right now. But thatness, meaning that remoteness to this understanding the Atma, as it is shown in the Shruti, Tattvam, which is Adi Shankara at his best. That's why we study the Bhashya. This is what the whole thing is. So if today after the class, if somebody asks you, what did you study? You say, oh, this and that. You can tell your friends, just this and that. Yeah, we can just have a whole series of lectures on Tat and Etat. Really. This is what it is. This is the beauty. Every word, that's why the perseverance. That's why, we pray for the perseverance to continue. And in fact, the perseverance continues. It's just overlaid by layers, like a cake. You put something and then you put something else on top and then one more piece and then seal it with something else like this. Yeah, it's got icings of ragadveshas. Yeah, that's what it is. So the perseverance get overlaid by all kinds of things which has an effect on my own receptivity. And my own receptivity when the reception is disturbed, this is the opposite. Unlike the radio station, here what is happening is opposite. When the reception is disturbed, the transmission stops. This is what happens. That's why I have to be prayerful and present along with Shraddha to receive the gifts of this teaching as they apply to and unfold in my life. So I have to do a clearing, a spring cleaning, even if it's not spring. What is it now? Summer cleaning. Yeah. To be in a place of the recipient. And therefore, this Atma, which is this Atma, right here, right now, me, fraught with all these difficulties, fraught with fear, fraught with denial, tears, samsara, krodha, moha, lobha, raga, dvesha, all these things. The whole gamut of things that I have brought into this life and nurtured and watered as well, grown into a big, thick forest. This is the only deforestation that is allowed. This is a big, thick forest of ragadveshas, which makes this into that, because this becomes hidden by this forest, the thicket of ragadveshas. And then when I cannot see the eye, the glory of the eye, when I cannot abide, I think it is that so far away. Oh Bhagavan, darshan do ghanashyam nath more, akhiyan pyasi re. Oh, my eyes are thirsty. How can the eyes be thirsty? Well, they are. Why? Because you, oh Lord, ghanashyama, dark, as the cloud which covers the mind, which is covering my mind from seeing you, have gone far away from me. You are not here. This is the kind of the Jiva singing sad songs. Yeah, sad sang, not sad sang. And what is this sad sang? A sad song, that's all it is. When are you coming? Why are you just a fleeting presence in my life? By the time I see you, you are elusive, you are gone. When will I see you again? Why do you leave? Why do you not stay? Stay for a little while longer. Let me see what you look like. This is what the person becomes. So who is the one I am praying to? Who is Ghanashyama? That is myself only. That is this Bhagavan living in the middle of Gahvare, Tishtati. We saw this in the difficult ravines of Ragadveshas, with all kinds of nightly animals, coyotes, wolves, etc. roaming and frightening everything, bats and all kinds of things. And so here in this ravine, Bhagavan is. In this etat ravine, Bhagavan is. But because this etat, I don't understand that right here, right now, Bhagavan is available. So Bhagavan becomes tatified. Datified. Yeah. And then So therefore, I need help here. This is what it said. I need help to understand that tat as etat alone. Even though it is etat, it has become datified by ignorance, datified by all kinds of mistaken identifications, datified by all kinds of wrong things, wrong understanding, missed understandings, everything, missed takes, and therefore these missed takes are removed. How? Shravanena. Shravanena. So Shravanam is the sadhana. What is Shravanam? Listening to the teachings with the help of a qualified teacher who knows what they are talking about. All this we have to tell. Yeah. And otherwise there are, all kinds of, I listen to online guru, and what else, somebody said, I listened to some lecture, I listened to something, and this is what happened. This is, So listening means a knowing. The person who is teaching should know what they are talking about, should come from a sound lineage that doesn't have the habit of distorting the teaching, distorting what is said in the Upanishad. How do you know what is said? Because we know Sanskrit. That's why we know what is said. And so the Shravanam here is emphasized. Atma Tattvam. Etat, even though it is etat, it has got a little tatness there because of mistakes, and that tatness is removed. How? Who is going to remove? Lord Yama says, Yad Aham, I only will remove. Lord Yama is saying, how? When? Bhasyami, I am going to tell you that. It hasn't yet come, it will be removed soon. I am going to talk about it, and then meanwhile just listen. What, after having listened, what will happen? Please listen now. Tat Shrutva. How to listen? Acharya Prasadat. Acharya Prasadat. This mantra talks about the indispensability of the teacher in gaining this knowledge. Without teacher, there is no knowledge. May as well say Tata, to the knowledge. Without teacher, there is no possibility of the knowledge. Because the teaching is actually, it's very interesting. The teaching is actually removing the mistakes. Yeah, that's what it is. And in the process of the teaching, a lot of identifications of the I with the non-I, such as my desires, my wants, my fears, my insecurities, my possessions, my people, the me, the mine, whatever I thought to be me and mine, is it limited or limitless? Limited, naturally. Because I've surrounded myself with objects, some of whom I call mine and some of whom I wish they were mine, but I've brought them home anyway, Yeah. So, this is my condition. So, my condition is a peculiar condition because certain things are all mine, and certain things are not mine. And then the not me and the not mine overwhelms me, correct? Attacks me, makes me feel more insecure. And so what is my solution to it? What do? I think from where I sit, this is the most obvious solution. I have to make more things mine. That's when the not me will become, see, there are two heaps, correct? Me, small, not me, big. So what do I have to do? I have to get more from there and then become the same size. So the not me and the me are the same size, and the not me will not pick on me, will not rub against me, will not swallow me, correct? Yeah, it's like this pot. Which one? This one. This one, everybody, actually these were jealous of this one because it's got a nice little glaze. But this one was very unhappy. This says that I'm just swallowed up whole by not I. This is I. This rattling set of pots, not I. This is I. This also is not I. Right? Yeah. And this also the one that always refuses to not come out. Not I. Yeah. All this is not I, not me, not me. Now, this one is doing push-ups every day. Yeah. And then sit-ups. Yeah. And then it's lifting some weights also. Yeah, it's trying to lift the weights. Why? Because it wants to become as big as these pots. Will that happen? Why? Because it's the law of life. Because you have a particular size and you have a particular bone structure, and no matter how strong you are, there will always be one dada who is still stronger than you. Dada means elder brother. Yeah. Some fellow who will, give you one biff and you'll go flying like in the comics, That is how it will be. There will always be one fellow like that. Because if everything is, it's never possible in samsara to get anything to the superlative degree. It's always comparative degree. That's why one stops at prayers. One never asks for that Shrestha in samsara. It's not possible. That which is the most exalted is not possible, because it's only bigger, better, merrier, sorrier, sadder, upper, downer. This is what samsara is. It's all about the comparative. And what is my problem? Comparative problem. This is what it is. I compare myself to other jivas. I compare myself to myself. 10 years ago I had so much vigor, and now I can't even get out of bed. 10 years ago I was just zip, zip, zip going everywhere. Now what is my condition? This is what happens. Therefore, the problem here is that I am trying to become bigger and better and overwhelm the not I, without seeing that the not I is what? Jagat. Jagat is infinite. Why? Because the Jagat has the same DNA of its maker, who is also infinite. So the Jagat is infinite. Infinite spread of Nama Rupas, acquiring which you are not going to become bigger. You are not going to become better. Even if you become better, somebody else is going to be better than you. How do we know this? Betty bought a bit of butter. And then what did she do? She, but the bit of butter was bitter. So she bought another bit of butter to make the bitter butter better. That's what. Now you have to say it fast 3 times. Betty bought a bit of butter. But the bit of butter was bitter. So she bought another bit of butter to make the bitter butter better. That's how you have to say it. 3-4 times if you say that, then Sanskrit will be a breeze. Sanskrit will not be a problem. Yeah. Oh, is that how you learn Sanskrit? Perhaps. Yeah, like this. So this is all about bit by bit, better, bitter. This is what it is. So you cannot, through amassing things, become better and better and better, because it's only going to lead to bitterness, not betterness. And so therefore what? Therefore this is a different game here. This recognition is what is needed. Is that I'm going about trying to become bigger and overwhelm my problems by having this, by buttressing this me with better, bigger, more. This is what I'm doing. What I'm trying to dress up is the me that is infinite, already glorious, doesn't need makeup. That is the shining me, self-shining me that doesn't need makeup at all. Looks good all the time. Yeah. Doesn't need a makeover, doesn't need a makeup, doesn't need anything. So this me, which is already what I seek, is not sought through trying to shore up more, better, bigger, that kind of possessions. Because what that's going to do is make me just have a lot of limitations, because I'm surrounded by a lot of limited things. What's the difference between little bit of limitations and lot of limitations? No difference. Then why bother? That's my sentiments exactly. Why bother? So what should I do? Find a teacher. Yeah, all this the Shruti is not saying, we have to fill in the blanks. Find the teacher, find a teacher who knows, and be prepared to listen so that you are transformed. That's what it is. If the classes are not transformative, don't come to the class. Simple. Spare yourself the ayasa. Ayasa means what? The effort. Don't come. The classes will start to talk. Even though the teacher talks all the time, the classes will start to speak to you when you have the attitude of prasada. Prasada buddhi. This is what it is. Acharya prasadat. Prasada is not a translatable word. Prasada. Yeah, that's all. Like papa and punya. Like that. For certain words you cannot translate. You can just say them with an American accent. It's the only translation. That's all it is. Papa, punya, prasada, all these, there is no translation. Only you can, Americanize it. So therefore, this is, prasada is not, it's wrongly understood. Prasada means like some dispensation. And then they'll add one word, divine. Divine dispensation. As though the guru is a pump, keeps on spraying something on the students. Like a pump, which dispenses something. And there are certain chosen people. You can come under the spray of the Mahavakya. Enlightened! And then some other hapless fellow keeps going there but no spray. Oh, so sad. What to do? This is not that kind of a dispensation. The Guru will give. Whoever comes, Guru gives. That's not the point. But are the people who come able to receive? That is the question. So prasada is about the making the body, mind, sense complex in such a way that one is able to receive the gift that is given. Like if someone handing a present, you already decide what's in it before unwrapping it. And you say, no thank you. Whatever you give, I don't want. Whatever is being given by you, I already have. And what can you give that I can't give myself? I'm a DIY fellow. So therefore, if you give this, what do you want back? I don't know if I can give all that, whatever you are demanding, and later now you say, oh nice, take present, Santa Claus, Guru is Santa Claus. But then Santa Claus is spelled C-L-A-U-S-E. Maybe there is a clause behind it. Maybe something has to be taken back later. I don't want to get into this. No, you keep your present. This is not prasada. Prasada means, and sometimes, this is also not prasada. People will take. Okay, it's coming, give. Oh, only this. Only Atma. I wanted to learn about Brahman, but you have only talked about Atma. This is what? someone came and said, 3-4 years later, one person came to the class and I said, oh, you look familiar. Have I seen you before? Yes. When? 3 years ago I came to a class. I said, oh, I said, that's nice. I didn't say anything. The person volunteers. But I stopped coming because you were not teaching Mahavakya. You were only talking about Atma and Brahman. So I said, what's the point? Because Upanishad means we have to study Mahavakya. What is that? This is saying that whatever you have to give, I have already examined, I opened, did not like what you give, so please take it back. Yeah. So some jivas come to the Guru and say, no, thank you. I don't want what you have to give. See you later, bye-bye. Not even see you later. Tata. And other jivas come, they refuse to go, but they poke holes in the present. Yeah. They poke holes and say, why this? Look at how you have wrapped it. This is the wrapping? This is the kind of paper you have used? What is this? This is the bow? You couldn't even bring a proper wrapping paper? Oh my God, look at the box inside the wrapping paper. This is horrible. Look at this. And what's inside? Oh, nothing. What is there? Atma. A big deal. And then some other jivas stand in line to exchange the gift. That also we have encountered. How do you exchange this gift? Listen. Yeah. So, they will come back. Last time when I was in the class, you were talking about something. Atma, Brahman. Because what else do you talk about? Atma, Brahman, Chit, A, B, C of Vedanta, that's what you're doing all the time. Now I'm having a satsang in my house and I'd like to invite you to give a lecture. Oh, okay, I'll come. No problem. When, where, how, what time? No, but before that we have to discuss a few things. Yes? I want you to talk about herbal remedies. Ayurveda, yoga, or how in the Hindu tradition you can just get moksha by meditating. These were actual suggestions. I'm not making any of these up. Not by the same person, different situations. So, I want you to talk about how in the Hindu tradition you can meditate your way to moksha. I said, but that's not correct. No, but I want you to talk about that. I said, why don't you talk about that? I'll come and eat. You talk about that. I'll come for lunch, no problem. You talk about that. No. If you talk, it will be more interesting. So this is the people who have received the present, so to speak, but want to give it back and exchange it for something else. This is not prasada buddhi. Prasada buddhi is first seeing I have a problem, that is prasada. Seeing that I'm unable to solve this problem on my own, part B of prasada. Part C of prasada, finding somebody that can help me resolve this problem once and for all. Part 4, knowing that this is not solved through action. Therefore, I need Shravanam. I cannot sleep my way through moksha. Wouldn't that be nice? I cannot meditate my way through moksha. I cannot eat, all you can eat moksha. I cannot eat my way through moksha. So, this is all karma, and karma is taking me to keep on accumulating more and more not I, when I have to discover the I which is hidden in the barrage of not I's that I have surrounded the I with. All these identifications, in fact, there is more of a deaccumulation. It's a decluttering that I have to do, and this can be only done in the presence of the teacher, through the teaching. This is what is prasada buddhi. And when the teacher is saying something, I am in a place of saying yes. Yesterday we saw in the Gita class, what is Shreyas? Say yes. On the relative level you say yes, then that is when you qualify for Shreyas. This is what it is. Shreyas means the most exalted pursuit. And so therefore, Acharya Prasadat. So it's not that the teacher is not giving. The teacher is giving all the time. Is the person receiving? Is the jiva, is the student, is the shishya receiving? That is what it is. So the receptivity here is called prasada because the teacher is a relational identity. There is no person called guru. Student is also a relational identity. So that handshake, that coming to receive what is given, is in fact that is what makes the class more most sacred, most holy, because of that the vritti handshake. Even in the computer world they use handshake. Computers are shaking hands. Here it's a vritti handshake. The vritti that is produced acharya mukhat through the mouth of the teacher goes in the receptive student's antahkarna and does a demolition job of all the ajnana and the not I accumulation, demolishes that and leaves the antahkarna, the inner infrastructure, free to witness this Bhagavan within. So it's a vritti handshake. If I don't let the vritti in, the teacher can be broadcasting the vrittis, but I am not tuning in. That's what it is. So this is what is the prasada. The prasada is a relationship of reciprocity. And reciprocal is not like, the teacher gives, the teacher teaches, then the student teaches. It's not the same thing. It's not doing the same thing. The reciprocity is doing what I have to do in the situation. What does the teacher have to do in the situation? Teach. What does the student have to do in the situation? Receive. It's like the transmitter and the receiver being in sync and broadcasting and receiving that same thing that was broadcast flawlessly. Without a shadow of doubt, error, vagueness or static disturbance. This is prasada. Acharya prasadat. Fifth case. Through, because of. Meaning the fifth case, don't take it lightly. Fifth case means without that this will not happen. It's a condition. So that's why they say pleasing the teacher. The teacher is not wanting to, some kingdom to get pleased. It's not that the teacher needs to be pleased. Teacher is already pleased. But the teacher is contented, or the contentment of the teacher comes out when the knowledge is received properly. That is what is called pleasing. There is no pleasing here. It's not that the teacher is dejected and the teacher has to be first, morale has to be boosted by the student and then the teacher will then boost your morale. That is a codependent situation. No. So, prasada here means that invisible handshake of the vrittis. The vritti that is generated through the teaching is allowed to pervade my heart, unimpeded by doubts, fears, terrors and blocks. That's all. That's why so much preparation. That's why vriddha shishya and shishyaha are vriddha. They are all old, elderly. Why? Because they are prepared. That's why one sign language is enough. So this is what Acharya Prasadat and what I am about to tell, he says, is only received through the recipiency, through the receptiveness on part of the students who approach the teacher. Samyak, received well. Samyak. Samyak means what? Some. There is some, there is some. Where is the word some? There, in the Shruti. Some parigrihya, that some. he is explaining as samyak. Samyak means without leaving anything unturned, without leaving any stone unturned, completely. Atma bhavena, parigrihya, grasping the Brahman as what? Myself alone. Atma bhavena, itham bhave, in the form of the truth of the I, as it is taught, I grasp. Not that I think I am a spark of the I, I'm a portion of the big I, small I, little I. People do write like this. Self, capital S, I, capital I, small I. All this is okay when you write iPad, iMac. But this is not for, the teaching. The teaching, there is no 2I, 3I. There are no multiple I's. There is only one I. And that I is already big. And so big that it is limitless. This has to be understood exactly as it is intended, exactly as it is transmitted. That is what is called samyak. And that once that sum is used, the pari was not needed. But to show that so much vagueness and doubt is there, the pari is added. Some parigrihya. Pari means without doubt. Yeah, the pari is for doubt because it is connected with the word pari. Paritaha means all round. So all round, what is there in the knowledge? What can inhibit this all round receiving the knowledge? Doubts. So samyak shravanam, pari for mananam. Sam pari grihya, grihitva, parigrihya. Same. Having absorbed, grihya, absorbing, like a sponge. Yeah. Being soaked in the knowledge, totally soaked. Better example, rasagulla. Yeah. Very nice. You make it with milk cheese. You make little balls with the milk cheese, and then you boil it in water, and then you boil in water is hot water of samsara. So these little fatty jivas are just boiling in the hot water of samsara, and the anukampa of Bhagavan and the Guru then takes them and puts them in the cool syrup of the Shastra, rose flavored, cardamom flavored syrup, sweet as the Upanishads, rose flavored, Kathopanishad, cardamom flavored, Taittiriya Upanishad, more complex flavors. And and they are all swimming with one another, getting fat with knowledge, tapasa chiyate brahma, and absorbing the knowledge. And for 8 hours they are soaking. You must not immediately eat rasagulla. It's very boring. Yeah, it's just, it's like chewing gum. That's all it is. After someone has spit it out. It's not like the fresh chewing gum, at least for a little while. After you spit it out, when do you spit it out? When it's no longer tasty. It's like that. Bland. So you have this, you have to just put the lid on it and keep quiet and don't even look, don't taste. You make it at night. The next morning you taste it. It is not an area that the sugar syrup hasn't permeated. The sugar syrup is all pervasive. Atma bhavena grihitva. Yeah. In fact, there is no gulla, only rasa. First it was gulla. Yes. Now it is rasa. Rasa comes first. The gulla has become a last name. Yeah. Raso vai saha. Rasagrhyevayam labdhva. Nandi bhavati. This Atma is like the sugar syrup. Taittiriya Upanishad says. This is the essence of everything. And by nature it is sweet. Sweet why? Because everybody likes the sweet taste. At least in Eugene. And it is sweet. It is sweet because it is desirable. It is universally desirable. A sweet, universally desirable taste and the essence, the truth of everything. Gaining which as the truth of oneself One is Anandi Bhavati, Modate, Modaniyam hi labdhva, gains the most desirable, the most delightful thing. Becomes that thing that one wants to get. It's not an object to get, it's the nature of the subject. And so, when the hot water of samsara, and then the guru, Rasgulla guru here, all these hot things are kept on a plate to cool down, and when they are warm, they are squeezed, the water is squeezed out. So, samsara is squeezed out, all the misidentification, and then plop, 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 they are dropped in the sugar syrup. And they go, cool, no more hot water boiling in samsara. The guru has rescued me. But supposing there is an errant gulla, the one the guru is trying to fish it out, instead of floating it refuses to float, it sinks in its own sorrow and it doesn't come out. What can the guru do? Yeah. And then what happens? It explodes into shreds. This happens sometimes. If it boils for too long, it explodes into shreds. One life gone. Yeah, this is prasada. You have to come in the, slotted angle spoon of the teaching and let the samsara drip down and drain out. Yeah. You have to allow yourself to be caught by the words of the guru, caught by the words of the shastra. That's why we make it so enticing. At least we think we do. Whether we do or not, it's up to you to say that. At least we think we do, because that's how we learn from our gurus. So, we make it so enticing, so that these gullas in the, bobbing up and down in the hot water of samsara are get caught in the net of the words of the pramana. That's the best place, that's the best catch. Yes, that's the best way to get caught. Every other catch is a ditch, There is a hitch, there is a ditch, there is all kinds of things. And here is the only catch that's truly catch and release. No other catch is catch and release. Yeah. The Guru's words catch this jiva that is falling in the water, that is falling through the cracks. And then what? The Guru squeezes, applies some pressure, come on. Get that samsara out. And then you say, I don't want Guru, bad Guru, I don't like this Guru very much. Guru is forcing me to do things, I'm not ready to let go of samsara, can I just have it for a little while? Guru says, no, leave that samsara right now, squeeze. Then, oh, now the Guru is dropping me, oh no. This is what it is. Don't be afraid to get caught in the words of the Shastra, because the net of the Shastra is catch and release, really. Release to what? Release to your own sweetness that is exuding from you. So the sweet sugar syrup is just a web of words from the Shastra which just describe your own nature. You are already the recipient of that sweetness, you are already sweet. But if to use another example, a sugar cube that thinks I am bitter, that's what it is. And the sugary guru has to say, no, sweet tvamasi. No, but this lady of the household has put me right next to chili pepper. How can I be sweet? Sahavasa dosha, the fallacy of sitting next to chili pepper on this side, salt on this side. Oh my God, I'm now salty and hot. Cayenne has influenced me. In fact, I'm married to cayenne. Said this sugar cube. Yeah. And Guru said, you are not sugar cube, you are just sweetness, you are just all round sweetness, you are not just a small little cube, everything that is sweet is you. Yeah, but I am sitting next to cayenne, I have been married to cayenne for 50 years, you are still sweet. My offspring is called salt, still you are sweet. This is what it repatriates you to that. It releases you to your own sweetness. The words have to catch because one is as though drowning in samsara. This is the whole teaching. And this is what is sam and pari. So sam is allowing oneself to be beguiled by the words of the Shastra. Come in the net. What will happen? What if I am disappointed? Well, you won't be. Well, you are saying that. How do you know that I won't be disappointed? You don't even know who I am. You don't know me. Okay. If you are disappointed, so what? So how many disappointments you had? One more. Doesn't matter. Take a chance. The chance is called Shraddha. Take a chance. Take a chance on the Shastra. So much leap of faith you have in hedgy schemes, hedge fund and this fund and that fund and so many things. This is not even a fund, it's just fun. Take a chance. Take a chance. We'll see what happens. No, but it won't work. That is the person who is refusing to open the gift because I'll be disappointed. One more variety. Yeah. Because everything I have received now is sorrow. So this will also be sorrow and I don't want to be further disappointed. But so I'll keep the gift here in front of Bhagavan in my puja room and I will never open it. Why? Because I don't want to be disappointed. The person has already decided. Opposite of Shraddha is despair. Yeah. Hope and despair, trust and mistrust. This is what it is. Despair is always surrounded by mistrust. I don't trust that I will not be disappointed. So therefore, sam and pari, it means it is these upasargas, these prefixes are taking this very seriously. And so I have to take this extremely seriously and see and take a chance and allow myself to be charmed by Lord Yama's words, by the words of the Shruti, by the words of the teachers. Allow myself to fall in love with the Shastra. That is Acharya Prasada. That is what it is. This is what it is. Oh, what if I am disappointed? You won't be. How do you know? Because the proof of the Shastra is in allowing it to operate on you. Before it operates on you, you cannot say, I'll be disappointed. How do you know? It's like saying, open your eyes, I have a surprise. No, I won't open my eyes because I don't like surprises and I don't know what you have. Namaha. What else can you say? So therefore, sam means Shravanena, Samyak Atma Bhavena, and Pari. Pari means without any doubt. Without any doubt here, and that is also going to be, explained a little more. Parigrihya upadaya martyah maranadharmaha dharmaha dharmad anapetam dharmyam pravrihya udyamya prithak kritya shariradehe. So that was more than enough for now. So parigrihya, it's a very dense mantra, so we have to go as slowly as it will, as fast as it will allow us to, which is not very fast. So parigrihya means having gained properly, samyak, having gained completely, being receptive. Pari here means, the mananam is there. Do you need Acharya Prasada for mananam or no? Mananam is doubt removal. That can happen on one's own as well. Or you can ask questions. Is Acharya Prasada needed for mananam? Yes. Why? Because it is included in the whole teaching package. Doubt removal is part of the teaching because it removes the errors of thinking, erroneous thinking. And the doubts I have already described. What kind of doubts?
Some things.
What kind of doubts? I spent a whole class describing the kinds of doubts that are removed through mananam. What are they? Doubts connected to what? Pramana, one kind of doubts. And then doubts connected to prameya, second kind of doubt. Yeah. Doubts connected to pramana. What are they? Am I really Brahman? How can these words, come and tell me this? How can words take away the sorrow, disillusionment, ajnanam? And Brahman. What is this Brahman? Where is it? How come the Shastra says Brahman is everything and everywhere? This is what is prameya doubts. So those are the two kinds of doubts that are there to be removed. And then what? This is what is called parigrahanam. Grahanam, parigrahanam. So the all-round doubts are displaced, removed, uprooted. Uprooted again through Acharya Prasada. Because Acharya Prasada continues after class. Guru Prasada continues after class. Why? Because it blesses me with the great blessing of being able to think like the teacher and the Shruti. That is what. So keep in line with the teachings and not use my own uha. What is uha? Guesswork. Uha is guesswork. Not use my own guesswork. To guess. Uha. Not using my own uha to guess. Let me guess the knowledge. Let me guess. Atma is. Let's call it something else. That is not the kind of mananam here. Well, I am not in doubt because I have renamed the Atma. That's not the point. The point is to go in line with the teaching, to be in a place of harmony and recipient place with regard to the teaching, even when one may not be immediate proximity of the teacher all the time. So, when one is thinking, the thinking falls in line with the teacher's thinking and the Shastra's thinking. Tava chittam, mama chittam, anuchittam bhavatu. This is what it is. May my sankalpas be in line with your sankalpas. The student prays. Why? Because your sankalpa is close to the cosmic flow, and may I never therefore be against the cosmic flow. So the mananam, when it is done from this standpoint, the removal of the doubts, the Shastra which has spoken once will speak again. Even when it's done on your own, it will speak again. So the blessings of the teacher continue because I am in the same line of the teaching. I am not wavering from the teaching to do my own uha. Uha poha. Yes, uha poha. Uha and apoha. So this is uha poha. This is uha poha means entangled, thoughts coming from my own brain. No. I think like the Shruti. I think like Adi Shankara. I think like the teacher. I start thinking like Dakshinamurti. This is what the whole thing is. I am in line. I am in harmony. I am one with the teacher. I am one with the teaching. So that alienation is not there. And this is what is mananam, parigrihya. And some is listening so carefully that not a word, not a thing is missed. This is how to listen. Not like, let me go on. I've heard this before. This is the tendency. Shamadama, Uparaditi, Shraddha, Samadhanam, I know all this. I can go on a little daydream trip. Let me see what I'll do after this class. Well, it's a hot day. A cool swim sounds just about right. Maybe I'll go to that pool and maybe I'll take a dip. And then on the way home, who wants to cook? So I'll buy something, I'll go somewhere and order something. Why order something and bring? Then I'll still have to wash dishes. Why not just go there and eat? Then I'll go there and eat. Om Purnamadav. What? Class is over? How? When? What did I miss? This is what happens. This is, going off on a wool gathering trip is even though it may be brief and pleasant, this is what Vidyaranya Swami says, Manorajya. Manorajya is this daydreaming, and he says that you may think it is harmless, but it is harmful because it is the precursor of distraction, and after being the precursor of distraction, it becomes the cursor of distraction. It leads you from places, away from the teaching. So that whole thing, that sum means the presence. I receive the present of the Shastra with my presence. That is what is needed. Being fully present. That is what it is. And therefore, being you, it's not based on memory. So you cannot give me the excuse, I can't remember. Because it's not based on memory. It's based on you. If you are present, it will be there. That's what it is. And pari means removing the vagueness. I am Atma, but what does that mean? I am Brahman, but how? Am I a part of Brahman, a spark of Brahman? Which part of Brahman? Top, bottom, is left, right in the center? These are the vaguenesses. Doubts, error, vagueness. I know I am Brahman, but I don't feel it. I know I am Brahman, but I don't know how. And error. Wrong, I am a flicker of Brahman. This is wrong. All these are removed. And then what does that lead to? It leads to, he says, Adi Shankara says, it leads to parigrihya upadaya, closely, listening closely, adaya, receiving. That's why he changes that. Parigrihya, he changes to adaya, gaining, receiving. And then pravrihya, one more word. Even though it doesn't come in order, even in the Bhashya, we have to take this word first. Pravrihya. So through the doubt removal, a kind of interesting things happen. What happens? The removal of doubts leads to the loosening of the holds of not I over the I. The I becomes a little more clearer. The clarity of the I grows in connection to the not I, which I have been taken to as the I. So the not I recedes further as I. The not I parading as I does not happen. Happens less and less. And so therefore it is called mananam, because this removal of the doubts, the vagueness, the errors, the questions around the knowledge, what does it do? It does prithak karanam. What does it do? It separates me from the not I. Vrih, to remove, to uproot. Vrih, sixth conjugation. Vrihati. Vridhaha. Vridhaha means past passive, participle. Vridhaha. Pra means fully uprooted from the not I. Udyamya, he says, lifting the I from the mess of the not I in which it has disappeared, as it were. Adi Shankara uses the word udyamya, like even like a khadgadivat, like khadga means like a sword. How do you take the sword? You lift it up. When you are ready to defend, what do you do to the sword? You lift it up like this. So same thing, the Atma, you lift it up. You lift it up with the force of the Shastra, the Shravanam and the Mananam, from the creepy crawly, effects of samsara. It's mixed up there, and through that intellect working properly, separating through that. Buddhi, intellect here means not intelligence, buddhi. Using the buddhi to separate this, to sift this, viveka, vairagya, everything, and pulling the Atma out of this mess through the bala of the prasada of the Shastra, the prasada of the Acharya, and through my own bala, my own grace. Acharya Prasada doesn't work without Atma Prasada. Yeah. There are three kinds of Prasada. Deva Prasada. What is Deva Prasada? Bhagavan's grace. That is also there like underwater, underground water. It is there present. You have to dig. Yeah. Digging is called worship, prayer. Yeah. You have to dig. Water is there. It is available. But for it to become a fountain and quench your thirst, you have to dig. That is Bhagavat Prasada. Which is the shovel is called bhakti. Yeah, bhakti shovel you dig. Shraddha shovel you dig. And that prasada is available. And then the second kind of prasada is Acharya Prasada, about which we have talked at length. Finally, what? Atma Prasada. Oh, Atma also has Prasada. Atma here means my own self. I allow myself the gift of what is being given. There is no rejection and no dejection. No rejecting anything. And so, I don't reject the teaching out of a misplaced sense of pride, fear, whatever it is. I don't reject. And so, that is what is called Atma Prasada. So this ability to pull oneself up from the fear and rejection and dejection is called pravridhaha. The one who is able to do that is called pravridhaha, the one who has done that. So parivrihya, removing oneself from the force of all these doubts and fears and errors. Udyamya, proudly removing the Atma from that. Removing what? What is it that I am removing? Who is the one removing? First let us see who. Martyaha. Who is this Martyaha? Marana Dharman. Marana Dharma. Marana Dharma. Who is this Marana Dharma? The one that is given to death. Yeah. The mortal. Why is it called mortal? Because pre-jnanam identification was I am a mortal. I'll end up in the mortuary. That's what I am. I am just the sum total of this body, mind, sense complex. There is nothing to go beyond this, nothing beyond this. And I am just as good as the body. And it's headed to the funeral home. That's it. When the body dies, I die. And if the body is in the mortuary, I am in the mortuary. And I don't feel anything. I come to a big end. Oh no, the end. Oh fear. Oh horrible. Oh terror. This is what is samsara. But the one who thought I am full of death, filled with death, marana yogyaha, marana dharmaha, martyaha, marana yogyaha, all that I am good for is to die. That's what I thought. That's why martyaha is given. That particular pratyaya, yat, marana yogyaha, only good for dying. That's all I am. I'm a mortal. The only thing I seem to know how to do successfully is to die. Everything else, I'm a big loser. The only thing that I have done without fail is to die, and successfully only thing I can do, seem to do as a mortal is to die. All other achievements are just zero. This is what I am convinced of. Exposed to the juice of the Shastra, what happens? I know that I am endless, limitless. So I am no longer Martya. So the Martya is a before picture, not after picture. After picture is in the last line. The second last line. So modate modaniyam hi labdhva. That is after. Before coming to the knowledge, I thought I was as good as dead. But now I know that death cannot touch me ever at all. And so this immortality is by Udyamya, having transcended, lifted the I notion from the body, mind, sense complex, like we started the class with. Lifted the body, uplifted the body, mind, sense complex, the I notion, from attaching itself repeatedly through the body, mind, sense complex, having received the knowledge at the feet of the teacher, and then having internalized it through mananam. This is what the who assimilated it. And then, so this martyaha. So what does the martya get as a result of this? Dharmyam. Dharmyam. What is this dharmyam? Dharmad anapetam. Non-separate from dharma. That which is non-separate from dharma. Here dharma doesn't mean right and wrong. What does dharma mean here? What does dharma mean here?
Living the truth of oneself.
That, what is the root verb here? Dhr. Dhr. What does dhr mean?
Flow.
Dhr doesn't mean, no. Dhr. Yeah, dhru. No, dhru is flow. Dhr. Aspiration. Dhr. No. Sustains. Yeah. Dhr. Dharyate. Iti dhr. Dharyate. Idam jagat. Dhr. To sustain. To sustain everything. And steadiness is called dhriti because it's a sustained courage. That is what is steadfastness or steadiness. Dhr, to sustain. That's the first meaning. Same dhatu. Dhriti, dhr. But that is not steadiness. Dhr doesn't mean steadiness. To sustain. What does the Atma sustain?
Sustains the truth of the whole Jagat.
Apa. Rama. Okay, it sustains the entire Jagat. Meaning, it's non-separate from the Jagat. Dharmad anapetam. So, dharma here is that which sustains the whole Jagat. It's unopposed to that which it sustains. It's non-separate from that which it sustains. It sustains even one's own ignorance. It's unopposed to ignorance. It's unopposed to. That's why unopposed to dharma. Unopposed to that avatara of Atma, which is what? Ishvara, with the whole Jagat spread out. That is also Atma alone. It's unopposed to that avatara of Ishvara as the creator. It is unopposed to that which is without any attributes, no dharmas at all. Okay. No, now you have a dharma, you are called pot. Okay. In relation to this example, the clay doesn't object why I am pot. Why I am always being made into pot. No. Now you are lid. Okay. Now you are a cup. Okay. Now you are a beautiful figure of Lord Krishna. Okay. That is how Atma is. It sustains everything. It takes on whatever form. It lends itself to various forms and names without becoming anything. Abhinna nimitta upadana karanatvat. And this is what is dharmyam, non-separate, unopposed to anything that it sustains. Oh, that must be very big. No. Anuhu. Anuhu means subtler than the subtlest. Elsewhere he is going to say bigger than the biggest. But here he says it's so subtle because it's the truth of yourself. You cannot see it because you are it. That's why it's Anuhu. Anuhu, he says, Pritakritya, having separated it from the body, mind, sense complex, Anum, Sukshmam, Etam, Atmanam, Apya Prapya, Saha, Martyah, Vidvan, Modate. Yeah, so Anum, Sukshmam means the most subtlest of the things. Gaining, Apya, he just puts a pra there, Prapya, gaining properly, gaining nicely. Saha, Martyah, that time Martyah, now Vidvan. So the deathly fellow who was deathly pale after being standing too much, in the dehydrating sunlight of samsara, in the hot winds of samsara, dehydrated and deathly pale, arrived and barely could knock on the door of the Guru and fell at the threshold and had to be revived by the cool waters of the Shastra. And that this deathly fellow who had a shade of death about him was going grey at the gills. This fellow is now known as a new name. What is his name? Vidvan. Vidvan. Martyah to Vidvan. What a transformation. Wow! Can I have that makeover? Yes, you can. That's why we are teaching so many classes. Yes, you can. So this is what it is. So deathly pales, going grey at the gills, gasping for breath. Who? Samsara. Oh, who did this to you? Samsara. Oh. giving a dying declaration. Samsara is responsible for my death. Samsara is killing me. Samsara is making me a martya. And then what? All the Guru does is take the Upanishadic goblet and dip the hands into it and sprinkle a few words, few drops of the Upanishad on this fellow. Wake up, you're in a dream, you're not really dying. Come on. That fainting fellow is not you. Come on. This is connected to the body, mind, sense complex. You're fine. Wake up. Oh, I suddenly feel better. Oh, the world looks so benign now. And all these people who were chasing me just now, they have stopped chasing me. Which people? Where are they? Who was chasing you? These three people, Prarabdha, Agami, Sanchita. These three kinds of karmas were chasing me. Now they are just standing there and smiling. I have walked away. I have been given a new birth by this baptizing. This is the true baptizing. Really. I have been given the blessing of another birth, a new vision. And in this new birth, there is no death. Yippee, I'm born again in the best way possible. Yeah. Now I'm Dvijaha, twice born. Once born into samsara and once born into the realm of moksha where everything is modaniya, 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 modaniya. Modaniya is more modaniya. Better, best, from better to best. So which is this loka? Which is this magic water I have to get sprinkled, and when do I wake up? Am I still in this body? Yes. Is the body still loda? Yes. Check. Then what has changed? The indweller who was identifying with the body is no longer identifying with the body. Udyamya, having been relieved from that identification. The one who was dying along with the body has been revived and repatriated with a certificate of immortality. Yeah, you are no longer Martya. Promise? Yes, promise. Yeah. Upanishadic promise? Yes, Upanishadic promise. Yes, Shastra is the pramana, that is the promise. And then as soon as hearing this, the Jiva, who was Jiva before, Martya before, now is known as Vidwan. Yes, it's a very serious word. Adi Shankara uses it very sparingly. Vidwan. Who is this Vidwan? The all-knowing one, the one who knows I am no longer subject to death, who has, what is that? No longer shackled to the mortal, remains. I have come out of this body identification even before death. I am no longer shackled to this body, mind, sense complex. I have come out of this thanks to the gift of the Shastra, the reviving influence of the Shastra from the dying Jiva, the Samsari. This is a miraculous rebirth. And this rebirth is what the Shastra promises, as a prologue for what is to come. This is what is the next two mantras will be the drops of water. We will be decoding the drops of the water from this Upanishadic goblet. How it is going to be sprinkled through the Shabda Pramana. It's very beautiful. So the Martya becomes Vidwan. And then what does the Vidwan do? Let us see. Modate, Modaniyam, Harshaniyam, Atmanam, Labdva. Yeah, Labdva, having gained what? The Atma, the truth of oneself as not subject to death. Such a release, such a relief, such freedom, such gain. What a gain? The gain of that which is already gained. What did this teacher do? Just give me what I already have. Why so much words of praise for the teacher? Nothing the teacher did. Teacher just gave me, is Atma an accomplished fact or to be accomplished fact? Accomplished fact. Siddha vastu or sadhya vastu, siddha vastu. If it's Siddha Vastu, then I'm Siddha or Sadhya. You are Siddha. Then if I'm Siddha, what are you doing? You appoint yourself and then you say, glorify the Guru because of whom I have learnt this. Well, the indispensability is important here to understand, because this is, even though it is Siddha Vastu, it behaves with that tatness, thatness because of which I cannot see it. It has to be discerned, it has to be understood. All the backward and wrong orientations have to be go back, recede. In order to receive this, all the orientations have to recede. Then what happens? Modate. Modate means rejoices. Modak in front of Ganesha, yeah, that's why it's called Modakaha. Modakaha, yeah. And this is Mud plus Nul. Yeah. Nul brings in Guna. What is the Guna of U? O. Mud becomes Mod. And Nul is replaced by Aka. Modaka. Meaning, as soon as you see it, something wonderful happens here. Yeah. This is American Modaka. Yeah, this is. So, but actually it's in this shape. It's very interesting. It's exactly in this shape, but it tastes like this. Who said there is no show and tell in Vedanta? Yeah, so see, now all the people who live here but who aren't in class, they will be saying, why didn't I go today? You can come now, no problem. So, this is what it is. So, this Modaka means that the sight of which itself makes me rejoice. But that Modaka makes me rejoice for how long? Until it is Swaha. Then I say Aha and finished, correct? But this Modaka, which is the true Modaka of Atma, which is not in any shape or size, it is the truth of everything and it is bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest, Ati Sukshma, the truth of myself. This Modaka is unending Modaka, limitlessly. Today, right now, Modaka, yes, Modaka, yes, Modaka, yes, Modaka, 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 Modaka. And so the person who knows this is what? Modate, present continuous. Now Modate, now Modate, now Modate, now Modaka, now Modate, now Modaka, Labdhva Modate, Labdhva Modate, Labdhva Modate, 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 now, 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 now. In the now, which is timeless, Modate, 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 Modate. This is what it is. Is happy for no reason. Is happy because one is. Because is happy because there is no reason to be sad. The reason to be sad is not other than me. There is no reason. There is nothing other than me. There is no part of me that's falling apart because I am impartite. There is nothing other than me. And even I am also not self-destructing, not subject to self-destruction. So there is no reason for sorrow. And if there is no reason for sorrow, then there is infinite. I am in touch with that which is myself, which is infinite and Ananda. That's all it is. And so this is what is called Modate. It's not a special experience. It is the truth of yourself. After the whole junk called Ragadvesha has been removed, the clutter of Ragadvesha has been removed. Tat etat evam vidham brahma. Yeah, stop right there, because here itself is the beauty of this. Tat etat. Before what it was? Etat tat. Etat was behaving like tat. Now what has happened? Reversal. Tat is behaving like etat. What a lovely mantra this is. So nice. Fantastic. Tat means now that which is now this, this was datified because of ignorance, and the ignorance dropped and that has become thisified. That which has become aparoksha, no longer remote. Because that remoteness was because of my ajnanam, now it is no longer remote. And tat etat means in this manner, evam vidham, Brahma,
Brahma,
Sadma,
Sadma,
Bhavanam,
Bhavanam,
Nachiketasam,
Nachiketasam,
Tvam Prati,
Tvam Prati,
Apavritadvaram,
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 Vivritam, Abhimukhi Bhutam,
Abhimukhi Bhutam,
Manye,
Manye,
Moksharham Tvam,
Moksharham Tvam,
Manye,
Manye,
Iti Abhiprayah.
Iti Abhiprayah.
So this kind of Brahman, known in this manner, which we have talked about, this is likened to an abode, to a house. What is this house? It's just a poetic way of putting it. It's not really a house, It is that which you house in your body, mind, sense complex, and that which houses the entire Jagat in itself. That is what it is. It doesn't have a house. The limitless cannot have a location. It's a proverbial, poetic license of the Shruti. The house is not important. That's why he says, for you, Sadma, even though Sadma, Vivritam Sadma, one word is missing. Vivritam, Sadmaha Dwaram, the door. The house is not important. The doors are important. So those doors, Tvam Prati, especially for you, those doors of Brahman have opened up. Brahman being the knowledge. Those doors are open to you. Why? Because you are open to this. You have come with a view of letting Brahman knowledge in. So the doors of Brahman are also open. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam. May I never reject Brahman. Mama Brahma Nirakarot. May I never feel that Brahman is rejecting me. Yeah. So, Anirakaranamastu Anirakaranam me astu. May there be no rejection all around for me. All around for everyone, especially for me. Tadatmani nirateya upanishatsu dharmaha te mayi santu, te mayi santu. All these qualifications which are mentioned about the student, mentioned in the Vedas, mentioned in the Upanishads, may they reside in me. May they reside in me. That is what it is. So here for you, O Nachiketa, who is so prepared, the doors of Brahman have opened. It's an automatic door for you. You step in, it opens wide and says, come in, Nachiketa. Here is the Upanishad waiting for you to just come and receive. And there's meaning no pratibandhas are there. There is no catch. The door doesn't open, what to do. Or while I approach the door, and knock at the wrong door. Or I just beat my head at the door in despair. Or I come and I'm so weak and I don't have the hope to even ring the bell. These kinds of pratibandhas are not there for you. The doors are wide open. Vivritam. Vivritam means Tvam Prati Apavritam. Same. We he use and apa plus v. Apa asamantat vru. Open. They are open. Vivritam. Abhimukhi kritam means the open doors are facing you. Manye. Manye doesn't mean I consider. Manye means I state this to be true. And what do I state this to be true? Moksharthi. Iti manye moksharham, because you are deserving of moksha more than anyone else I know. This is what, I want to tell you. And then Nachiketa gets a little tired of being praised so much. And then he says, come on, don't embarrass me. This is embarrassing. Let's get to the third boon. And also in this time of listening to Lord Yama's praises, he has managed to hone the question to a beautiful, just a precise understanding. That we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Tripti.
and Laurie all saying pranams. And we have to do a recording soon.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll have to do it. All